1989 is a special year because number one, well, Mr. Hollywood was born. Number two, Ken Griffey Jr. was a rookie in this class. On today's episode of Raw Reviews, we've got 1989 Bowman baseball bubblegum cards. We'll try the bubblegum. Let's see if we can pull a $300 Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. Hey guys, it's Mr. Hollywood and welcome back to another episode of Raw Reviews. On today's episode, we have 1989 Bowman baseball bubblegum cards. Of course, the rookie year of our boy Ken Griffey Jr. right here. We are wearing the Mariners jersey to try to spur on the luck. I know it's kind of covered by this phone situation I have here. We are moved back to the studio for today's episode, so bear with me a little bit. This is not how we normally do things, but we're gonna go ahead and crack into this junk wax era box. Wrapper coming off here. So you're probably wondering, why 89 Bowman? Kind of a random rip, right? Well, my thoughts with this are, look at that. Sealed wax packs, you love to see that. So we'll go ahead and take the wax packs out first, but why is this set cool? Well, number one, I like opening up vintage stuff. I just think it has a different feel, a different look to it. Number two, our boy Ken Griffey Jr. was a rookie in 1989, empty box there. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, there you go. But Ken Griffey Jr. was a rookie in this set. Of course, he would go on to become a Hall of Famer, one of the best baseball players of all time. He had a career batting average of .284. He hit 630 homers in his career, over 1,800 RBIs, close to 200 stolen bases, I want to say. I mean, I think he won 10 Gold Gloves as well. So a very well-rounded player, great defender, obviously an amazing offensive bat. But why do I like this product? Well, it's very cheap. Believe it or not, you can pick up one of these boxes for about 50 bucks. That's right, $50. A Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, which we'll see how many we can find today, which looks like, sorry, we don't have a lot of room here, which looks like this, okay? That's the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. This in a PSA 10 is a $300 card, even to this day. And I'll tell you why I like 89 Bowman as opposed to the other 89 products that have Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards. It's because, so there's the gum right there, you can see that. We'll try a piece in a little bit. But the reason is because the pop counts on his Bowman cards are actually, in a PSA 10, are way lower than his pop counts in his Topps rookie card and his Upper Deck rookie card. So there's the gum. I guess we will start a gum pile over here as we get into it. So the names on the cards are going to be facsimile autographs. You don't have straight up names on the front. There's Mike Scioscia of the Dodgers. So you do also have these kind of reprint old school style Bowman cards. Here's a Duke Snider, sorry. Bob Brenly. Now, who are the other rookies in this set that you want to look for? Well, you like Gary Sheffield. Gary Sheffield, I think, is a rookie in this set as well. Here are the names, so you can see them: Tim Jones, Bob Brenly, Denny Martinez. We'll go ahead and put the kind of the inserts aside. But let's take a look really quick at the pop counts. I'm gonna move some of these packs off the camera just so it's a little easier for me to have a little room. But wow, these packs are dirty. But what are the pop counts of the 1989 PSA 10 Ken Griffey Jr. base card? I'll throw it up on your screen now. Pop count is 2,491. It's a $300 card. The other card you're kind of looking for in this set is the kind of the TV card with him and his father, Ken Griffey Sr. That in a PSA 10, we'll throw it up on your screen now, is a $70 card. So there's the kind of the two big ones that you're looking for in this set. But in terms of other Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards, you look at the Upper Deck, the 1989 Upper Deck base PSA 10, super famous card. That card is a $2,300 card, approximately $2,300 in a PSA 10. But look at the population count of that, 4,164. Okay, now let's look at his Topps traded rookie card out of 1989 Topps in a PSA 10. Look at the pop count on that, 13,959. So that almost 14,000 is the pop count, $100. So in my opinion, in terms of value, 1989 Bowman only has a pop count of around 2,500 and a $300 price tag. I think that is by far the best value. We talk about this obviously being the junk wax era. Let's just call your attention though, even to modern cards. Look at the Victor Wembanyama 2023 Prism. That has a pop count already in a PSA 10 of 16,000. 16,000. Just to give you an idea, this Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Bowman card has a pop count of 2,500. And this is junk wax era. This is prime junk wax era. Ellie De La Cruz 2022 Bowman. His 22 Bowman Chrome Prospect First has a pop count of over 10,000. CJ Stroud's base Prism in a PSA 10 has a pop count of 6,000. The pop counts now, compared to even the junk wax era, are so much higher. And so I think for that reason, I don't really have too much of an issue opening 89 Bowman, if you ask me. I think it's actually kind of a fun rip, if you ask me. So moving on to our next pack. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see if we get any stunners. There's, is that Robin Ventura? That is Robin Ventura. All right, so continuing on. There's Steve Finley. I believe Steve Finley is actually a rookie in this set. So yeah, he is. Steve made his professional baseball debut at Newark in '87. He plays minors in '88. So yeah, this is Steve Finley's rookie card. We all remember Steve Finley. Wow, it's actually pretty nicely centered. Not bad. A little heavy on the top. But the other thing with these cards is they're a little bit longer. They're actually taller than a standard card, believe it or not. So there's Barry Larkin. Another fantastic player there. Still no sign of our boy Ken Griffey, but we will try to keep it moving as reasonably paced as we can. The gum is just gonna make an absolute mess. So here is a Jackie Robinson reprint card, pretty cool. You will see the word reprint on these, which kind of eliminates the confusion as to whether you have a authentic one. Here's a checklist card, always kind of cool. Checklist cards are actually quite collectible, believe it or not. There's Bob Kipper. Let's see, anyone to Greg Brock. Here's Al Leiter. Here's our boy Billy Ripken. Of course, Billy Ripken is the F face card guy. Keeping it moving through. No one to write home about there. I know you guys all remember the summer. I'm going to separate the gum off the screen if you don't mind, because it is just an absolute mess with the gum. You can see all over the table here. That's mostly gum. Here's Ted Williams. Cool looking card, really cool looking. Actually great centering. So far, these have had actually very good centering. I'm actually pretty impressed. Here's Bill Bean, Lance Parrish, Randy Buckus. All right, that's not who we're looking for. That's not who we're looking for. We all remember the summer of there's Joe Carter. I'll remember the summer of 1998, that McGwire-Sosa race to hit the most home runs. Of course, Mark McGwire did end up winning that race. He hit 70 home runs, which was pretty crazy. But of course, we all later found out that both McGwire and Sosa were actually using performance-enhancing drugs during that summer. And there is the reprint of the 1951 Mickey Mantle Bowman rookie card right there. So that is pretty cool. It'll go right there. But what did that whole home run race take away from Steve Lyons? He was a commentator for the Dodgers at one point. It took away from Ken Griffey Jr. because there's Andy Van Slyke. What did Ken Griffey Jr. do that year? Well, he hit 56 home runs. Here's Jose Canseco. Canseco, another guy who took a whole lot of performance-enhancing drugs and is not very apologetic about it if you ask him about it. But Ken Griffey Jr. hit 56 home runs in back-to-back years, 1997 and 1998. The kid, as he was called, hit 56 home runs 2 years in a row. Pretty freaking crazy. That is Danny Tartabull. So that whole kind of steroid era, it was unfortunate because it really took away. Here's John Smoltz. John Smoltz, obviously a Hall of Famer. Took away from Ken Griffey Jr. and what he was able to do cleanly. Of course, people remember there's another Joe Carter. People remember that Ken Griffey Jr. was not affiliated or connected with the steroid allegations, so that was part of the reason why he was so well liked. Scott Bradley, still no sign of our boy. There is Ozzie Smith, though, right there. So Ozzie Smith, that's a Hall of Famer. Here's another Mickey Mantle. This is a reprint, obviously. We're gonna put that there. But let's see. Man, it's so hard to go through these. Mike Schmidt there's a Hall of Famer. It's so hard to go through these because they just have no names on the front. There's Mookie Wilson with the gum attached to him. I don't know if you guys remember kind of around that time in 98, maybe it was 98, 99 or something like that. There was a video game that came out on Nintendo 64 called Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest. Here is Duke Snider. That game was one of the best baseball games ever made. Here's Ryan Sandberg, of course, Hall of Famer for the Cubs. I remember playing that game non-stop and just absolutely loving it. I think when I was a kid, I just had like no patience at all. And so I would just set it to like the easiest possible difficulty and just hit homers out like crazy. And I'd win games like 90-0 and I just didn't even care. Those were the days, right? Here's Satchel Paige. Beautiful card there. Those were truly the days. Getting through here. Here's Darryl Strawberry, one of the leading home run hitters in Mets franchise history. Might be the leading home run hitter in Mets franchise history. I'll tell you, I will give it to you. The centering on this box of 89 Bowman, there's Roger Clemens in a Red Sox uniform. So that's kind of a cool card there. We'll go ahead and throw that up there. So far the centering is looking pretty darn good, honestly, which with these old cards is so hit or miss. There's another Mantle. There's George Brett, Hall of Famer for the Kansas City Royals. Another well-centered card. Everything has been well-centered. And to be honest, and here's Eddie Murray, and yet another Hall of Famer in a Dodgers uniform. It is one of the hardest parts about this vintage stuff is finding stuff that is centered. Here is another Canseco, also well-centered. Everything has been kind of slightly heavy on the top, but here's another piece of gum. But to be honest, I'm pretty happy with the centering because if that's how all of them have looked so far, if we do pull a Griffey, I think we could legitimately have a shot at a PSA 10 if this is going to be the centering on all of these cards. Here's Richie Ashburn. Let's see who we got here. Fred Tolliver, Sean Dunston. Go ahead and move through. But I'm telling you, it really is tough to... I thought that said Bellinger for a second. It's really tough to tell who's who unless you really, really know your old school baseball. There is Jose De Leon, as well as Jose Uribe. I'm going to take some of this base card off the screen. So obviously this was kind of right around the time that, at least for me, I probably started watching sports in general. There's another mantle. Started watching sports in general around the mid 90s. So there's Dwight Gooden, great player for the Mets. Good old Doc Gooden. Who we got here? Eric Hansen. Never heard of that guy. Here's Gary Carter. We definitely know who Gary Carter is. Scott Bradley. Keeping it moving through. Another Ozzie Smith. Again, you can see the centering is very good left to right on these cards. It's really just the top and the bottom where it's a little bit iffy. Some of them are a little thick on the top. But continuing along, here is the gum. I'll tell you what, when we hit our first Griffey, we'll try the gum. We'll try the gum from the pack that has a Griffey in it. That's what we're gonna do. There's Steve Sachs. There's Mike Maddox. Kurt Wilkerson. Is that Ruben Sierra? That is Ruben Sierra. There's a name from the past, huh? Benito Santiago. Mac Davis, Roberto Bonilla. Still no Ken Griffey Jr. Now, you do risk, whenever you buy something this old, that you want to make sure that you have kind of a factory seal. Here's another Ted Williams, pretty well centered as well. Because it's very easy for people to reseal some of this stuff, especially some of these wax packs, because realistically you don't have to rip the actual package open. They kind of just come apart easily, but that's also one of the ways for you to know that you have a legit box is kind of how easily it opens. Wax packs open very, very easily. See this? Like, you can literally barely tug at it and it comes open like that. Whenever you have a resealed pack, especially wax packs, really all packs, but especially wax packs, you can tell that they have been super glued shut. Yogi Berra. You can really tell that they have been sealed shut, and that is, there's Dave Winfield, there's a Hall of Famer right there. Ron Darling and Rick Dempsey. But you got to be careful when you're buying stuff that's older, that has been on the market for a while, because you just don't really know at the end of the day where it's coming from, if it was possibly tampered with. I don't think usually you're going to have too much of an issue with something like 89 Bowman. After all, it is kind of considered junk wax. So from that perspective, I don't think most people bat too much of an eyelash, we got this box from our friends over at Dave and Adams. Here's Rob Dibble, sorry, in case you're wondering. So far, it's been pretty run of the mill. We have no Gary Sheffield rookies so far, and we have no Ken Griffey Jr. rookies so far. Come on, we're looking for that Griffey so that we can taste a piece of this 34-year-old gum. I'm sure it's not gonna taste good, but here's a Willie Mays rookie card. Of course, reprint. We wish it wasn't a reprint, but when you pay 50 bucks for a box, you sure as heck ain't getting a real one. There's Kirby Puckett of the Twins. Nice card there. Continuing on though, I'm gonna go ahead and say that if we do not hit a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card in this entire box, I've never seen that, ever. I have opened this product before, and usually I am able to pull at least one from these boxes. Let's see, Paul Gibson, all knows, Fred Manrique. Interesting. Now, this is standard 89 Bowman. There was a release called Tiffany, 89 Bowman Tiffany, which had a glossy look to it. And that sort of glossy look version of these cards does very well. The Ken Griffey Jr. version of that does thousands and thousands of dollars. This obviously is not, the Tiffany version. That would be quite a pricey box at this point. There's Mr. Browning, no. Jeff Montgomery, no. Jose Lind, no. Man, we're like probably halfway through and no sight of the kid or Gary Sheffield. Here's Richie Ashburn again. Let's see. Tom Gordon. There is Dave Righetti. Dave Righetti has also been on the staff for, I believe, the Dodgers. Here's a backwards, kind of weird that that's backwards. I don't know if that's a good sign. Could we have had a tampered box? I want to say no. Here's Rafael Palmeiro, also another one of those guys that was significantly part of the steroid era. Mark McGwire is in this set too, of course. Do we have a tampered box? I don't think so. I think if it were tampered, like the center, well, centering's very good. I'll give it that, and the gum is making an absolute mess. And the fact that the gum is sticking to the cards, I think probably tells me that it is not tampered. Whitey Ford, the packs are opening nicely. So hopefully we're just kind of biding our time until we can hit. So here's what we were talking about before. This is kind of one of those TV cards, and it's Sandy Alomar here. Sandy Alomar coach card. Of course, Sandy Alomar Jr. was a great player as well. But this card, if it's the Griffey version, if it's Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr., is actually a $70 card in a PSA 10. Here's Bert Blyleven, great pitcher for the Angels. There it is. There's Gary Sheffield. So that right there is a Gary Sheffield rookie card. You can see that right there. Milwaukee Brewers. So that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and put Gary Sheffield in front of Jose Canseco. Moving forward, come on, give us the Griffey. All we're asking for is a little Griffey so that we can taste some bubble yum. Get that off. The stack of bubble gum is getting pretty big, honestly, guys. We're just gonna go through the rest of it somewhat quickly. There's Kirk Gibson of the Dodgers, so that we can just kind of get to that Griffey card. There's Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly, of course, a manager at this point. Donnie Baseball, they called him. Another piece of gum, add to the gum graveyard. All right, what else we got here? There's Willie Mays. Come on, Ken. Steve Sachs. Come on, Ken. Mike Maddox. Where are you, dude? Where you at? Not in this pack. How about the next pack? Again, it's when you have a box or a pack or cards like this. I mean, these are coming out so well centered. I'm telling you, we legitimately, if we can just pull it. Okay, here we go. If we can just pull the Griffey Jr. rookie card, I think we'll have actually a decent shot at a 10. And here's what we were talking about. Here is the kind of the TV looking insert card of Ken Griffey Jr. and his father, Ken Griffey Sr. This card in a PSA 10 does $70. I don't think this would be a 10. It has some little dots on it. Maybe I can clean those off, we'll see. But this is the type of card that you are looking for. Now, important to note that these cards are very long. You're about to see that it sticks out of the penny sleeve. You can see on the very edge here, you can see it kind of sticks out a tiny little bit. It's because these cards are longer than standard cards. And so sometimes I will throw another sleeve onto the other side of it just to kind of protect it initially. Sometimes that's how I do it. For now, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. But okay, so Ken Griffey Jr. has made an appearance. It is the combo card with his father. Now comes the next goal, which is to pull the solo card and have it be in perfectly centered, perfect condition is what we want. So, Willie Randolph. It's really the last one we're looking for. We're also looking for Mark McGwire. We have not hit Mark McGwire yet. We have not hit Barry Bonds yet. I believe Barry Bonds is in this set. There's another Gary Sheffield rookie right there. So 2 Gary Sheffield rookies. But man, that Griffey has been elusive. There's Wade Boggs. Another Mantle. Let's see, what else do we got? Come on, Ken. Come on, kid. Where are you at? There's Wade Boggs. Right there, Hall of Famer. Guerrero, Pedro Guerrero. This is not who we are looking for. This is not who we are looking for. And this Dave Henderson is not who we are looking for. How many packs do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more shots at it. I have literally never opened a box of this and not pulled at least one. And I've opened a handful of these boxes. This ain't my first rodeo with 89 Bowman. But might be the first time that we get skunked and we do not hit a single Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. Wouldn't that be funny? You get a product. Here's Oral Hershiser. Oral Hershiser on the 89 Bowman. Of course, the Dodgers won the World Series in '88, the year before they released this set. Hershiser was insane in that playoffs. Probably the best pitcher in baseball at that particular time. But it'd be funny. It'd actually be pretty funny to not hit a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card when this whole video was about hitting a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There's Alan Trammell and Doug Drabeck. Man, we are struggling right now. I can see why they call it the junk wax era. I can tell you that, because wow, wow, wee wah. It has been ugly, but let's be honest. Here's Ricky Henderson. Cool looking card of Ricky Henderson, number 181, Hall of Famer. But yeah, I mean, if we don't pull it, that would be a little embarrassing, wouldn't it? We are not getting much closer, honestly. We've had multiple cards of actually several people, and not a single Griffey. I think the last box I opened had one, like just one. So there's Whitey Ford. Come on, come on, come on. Still no sign. Ron Hazy. Here's another Oral Hershiser. Well centered, a little thick on the top. There's Will Clark of the Giants. We've got Al Leiter here. Still no cigar. I didn't even get to try the gum yet. What is going on? Julio Franco, there's a player we haven't seen yet, so that's always good. That's always good news. Maybe it's a collation we haven't seen before. Here's Tony Gwynn. That is quite nicely centered, actually. A little heavy on the bottom and got a little speck here as well, but Tony Gwynn, absolute legend. Died much too young. There's Nolan Ryan, another absolute legend. We will put him in the back there. Julio Franco, Don Mattingly. Donnie Baseball, you can go over there. Man, still no dice. Still no dice. 5 packs left to try and avoid the most embarrassing YouTube thumbnail, not thumbnail, but YouTube title ever. The Ken Griffey Jr. chase ends with no Ken Griffey Jr.'s. There's Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart was a good player. Let's see. I wonder what the odds of, there's Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was just an absolute unit. Look at that guy. Looks like this dude's just like a fridge. Would not want to mess with him. Still no dice. 4 packs remaining. Can we try the bubble gum? I will only try the bubble gum if we pull Ken Griffey Jr. Haven't even seen McGuire either yet, which is weird because usually I see a lot of those guys coming out of these boxes. 3 left. It's gonna come down to the buzzer, guys. It is going to come down to the buzzer. John Shelby, Tim Teufel, Rick Leach there. All right, Dave Parker. There's another Steve Finley rookie card, but still no sign. Only 2 packs left. Looks like we're gonna get skunked, guys. Unless it is in one of these last 2 packs. There's a Mantle. Here is our good old TV card of Mel Stottlemyre, coach for the Mets in that picture. Meyer, no. That's the right team, that's the wrong player. So there's Barry Bonds, okay? So Barry Bonds was one that we had not pulled yet. A little thick on the bottom, but there is Barry Bonds. Man, he looks like a baby in that, doesn't he? All right, let's see. No, no, no. No. Mickey Hatcher. No, no, and no. All right, well, it comes down to the last pack. This is the very last pack of 89 baseball. If we do not see a Ken Griffey Jr. in it, that is going to be quite disappointing. All right, Ken, come on. One last shot. Can we pull the Griffey? Again, $300 in a PSA 10. It's not looking good. We're down to the wire now. 1, 2, last 3 cards. That is not it. Last 2 cards. That is not it. This is our last chance at it. Wow. Would you look at that? Not a single one. Not a single base Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. We did, however, hit the Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior kind of TV card here. This card in a PSA 10 is worth $70. The box, as I said earlier, costs about $50. So if this were to 10, which I don't think it is, we would make our money back. Let's see, what else did we hit out of this box? We hit, aside from all of these reprint cards, which look pretty cool. Let's kind of go through it. We had a Barry Bonds, we had Tony Gwynn, Rafael Palmeiro, Joe Carter, Roger Clemens, Barry Larkin, a couple Gary Sheffield rookies. We had a couple Cansecos, Nolan Ryan. We had a couple Steve Finleys. We had a couple other TV cards here, but they were coach cards of Sandy Alomar and Mel Stottlemyre. This was our other Steve Finley rookie card, and then our pile of significant vets: Bo Jackson, Dave Stewart, Mattingly, Will Clark, a couple Hershiser's, a Ricky Henderson, Kirk Gibson, Wade Boggs, Brent Blyleven. We had Kirby Puckett. There's Winfield, Ozzie Smith. We had Gary Carter, Doc Gooden, Eddie Murray, George Brett, Strawberry, Sandberg, Schmidt, and John Smoltz. So we literally pulled every single big card in the entire set except for the one we were looking for. Look at all this gum on my mat here, kind of gross. But yeah, so we do have more boxes of 89 baseball, so we'll keep chasing Ken Griffey Jr., one of our favorite players of all time, just flat out one of the most well-rounded players ever, offensively, defensively, did it the right way, treated people the right way, just an amazing player, honestly. A shame that we couldn't find a single rookie card in this entire box. Kind of atypical in my experience, to be honest with you. But thanks for joining me today for today's episode of Raw Reviews. We did 1989 Bowman Baseball. We tried to hit a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. We could not hit it. All we got was this TV card of him and his father. Again, $70 in a PSA 10, but is that gonna cover the box? Probably not, because this is not gonna grade a PSA 10. But thanks again. We'll see you next time here at Raw Reviews. Mr. Hollywood, out.